and welcome to Retro Cars Reborn. I'm Lee, of course, and on today's episode we're going to be looking at fitting those halo lights that everyone likes to fit into their MX5s. So let's get on with it. So with winter fast approaching us, and it's getting dark in the morning and dark in the evening, these lights are no longer going to cut it. So the time has come to chuck the halos in. I've only got one problem. They're already fitted into the front of my Mark II Escort. And seeing as the Escort's going to be off the road for the winter, we're going to borrow these. So let's get on with it. So now that we've massacred my Mark II Escort to retrieve the halos, first thing I'm going to say to everybody is I already watched a load of people fit these, and the first thing I noticed people getting wrong, putting them in the wrong way round. I've seen people putting them in that way round, that way round. And get it to focus. That goes to the top. That's how your MOT tester knows that they're European spec, and that goes to the top. Right then, I've already got one fitted. This is what your end result is going to be from the plain and boring. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove these 4 screws on the outer edge. Ooh, hey. And I'll go ahead and do that now. So with the 4 screws out, it's just as simple as peeling it off, and the whole thing should just come off. You can place it down. Perfect opportunity to also clean it and get it nice and shiny. I should have probably done that with this one, but they're so easy to take off, you can do it at any time. So now you're on to the light itself. Now, a lot of videos are showing you taking this entire piece out. You do not need to do that. You know, the removal of this spring to let the entire bracket come out, you don't need to do that at all. You only have to remove the outer black ring which are held on with. If you're in the UK, they're going to be very crusty and rusty, and you've got 3 to undo. There's one at the top, there's one at the bottom, and then one at the side just here. So you only also got to unscrew them so far out, then you can turn and you can rotate this entire plate round. Comes out, and basically the whole lamp will come out like this, unless you've still got your sealed beams, of course. Mine are the H4 replacements. So I'll open up those 3 screws and I'll show you it turning and it coming out. So that is the ring removed from the outside of the lens. You see, that's all that holds. It's all that holds these lenses in. Now I couldn't show you the rotation process like I wanted to, because again, being in the UK, it was, they're the bolts, so rusty. The bottom one I've had to actually leave in because it will not budge. But you remove that ring and your headlamp just falls out. So all these videos showing you removing your actual bracket and the actual bowl, it has to come out by this. You don't need to do it. You can leave that all in there. So that just moves on to the wiring, which is so easy to remove. It's just a push clip either side. I do need 2 hands to do it, so we'll be right back. So there you go, both old halogen units are out now. There's a good decent look at it. You can just leave that big bowl in, and there's the one bolt that wouldn't come out, because look at how crusty it is. But luckily the other 2 at the top are still there to hold the ring in. So now, literally, you just need to clean this up, give it a good clean, because you can see it's starting to go a bit furry in there. Give it a nice clean, and your LED unit will push straight in and work perfectly. The only thing you're going to have to wire up are your indicators, which are the green one, and your side light, halo light, which is the red one, which is what we're going to do next. I'll show you how to wire this up. So the first thing you need to do is unplug the wiring for your indicator and your side light. So if you go below the bowl, there she is. Just got to undo this plug, then you're going to undo this screw here and this screw here and pull out the entire unit. So wiring unplugged, both screws undone. You can literally use that one to pull the entire thing out. And there you go, look. Indicator and side light unit complete. So I've just got it unplugged, and I'm just going to get a knife and carefully remove this sheathing, this little safety plastic bit here, just to expose the wires. So yeah, just remove this piece of sheathing, and then we'll be on to the next stage. So funnily enough, now that you've got all the wiring exposed, the wiring for your side light, the only one you need to tap into is this red wire, which funnily enough corresponds to the same red wire for your side lights on here, and your indicator is this green one, and again it's green on the MX5. So again, you've just got to tap into this green one for your indicator and this red one for the side light. Now at this point I'm only interested in the side light, so I'll show you how I tapped into the side light, and you can use the same method for tapping into your indicator as well. So you're going to need to build just a wire like this. It's about 30 centimeters in length. I've just literally crimped 2 spade connectors, one on each end, and then covered them in electrical tape. I've got a B&Q crimp tool connector with ratchet crimp tool, blah blah blah, because it was cheap. It came with all of the connectors and the proper crimping tool, so that's what I went for. You can try these god awful things, but you can connect it however you want. So you're going to need to build that, because then that's going to connect into the green here. It's got to then travel along with the same wiring inside of the headlamp around the back, and then down along this line of wires here, so it can meet where your lamp sits. So how I join this into the red wire is I'm no longer interested in this one working, so I'm just going to cut this completely, crimp a connector onto the end so that I can connect this directly in. I'll show you what I mean. So your red wire, I'm cutting it. Now I'm cutting it in the centre so that if I ever decide to go back to these original lights, this will be easy to join back together and hide in the middle. So yeah, that's why I'm cutting it right in the middle. So onto the end that comes and gets all the power from the car to where the side light is, I've crimped on the opposite connector so that you can connect this up to this, and again just cover the ends with some electrical tape. Once they're connected together and you've got it all installed and you like it how it is, you can cover the whole lot in tape. I'm also going to cover this back from here all the way up to where this wire is, and leave this wire out again back with tape so that it is all waterproof. So there you go, all back to being waterproof again, with the exception of our left out adapted side light. So then we can connect it to this nice green one, connect it straight into the back of this lamp at the green point, and it all should work. So what you want to do now is put this back in your indicator and side lamp, fit it back in, connect it back up inside, and then we should be ready for the next step. Side light and indicator back in, and the bulbs back in where they should be, and it reconnected in here. Should only be left with this now. So what you want to do with your wire that you've made is feed it inside the headlamp bowl and basically follow the same path that the original wiring takes. And what I did was, as I cable tied this nice green wire to that original one, feed it all the way down and along this wiring here, because that wiring is that wiring in there, connect it up, cover it in electrical tape again so it's nice and secure, and then you want to cable tie it along this, along the back, and then it's carefully routed so that when your headlamps flip up and down, they're not going to be pulling any stress on any of the new wiring you've made, which is one of the reasons I made it 30 centimeters long, so you've got a lot of extra wiggle room. So I'll get that fitted in and then I'll show you what it looks like. So there you go, I covered it with electrical tape and just cable tied it along the wiring. Same for the back, just a little cable tie to go in there. Now the other side I'll show you, because the wire on this takes a big detour up to here and then goes across there, whereas on the other side it literally comes straight out the back and straight in. So I've literally just done the same thing with this side, just arched it up until it reaches there. I'll put another cable tie on it there, and then it's going in to the back. Perfect. If you wanted a cleaner, more factory look, you don't have to use the cable ties. You could just use electric tape to hold it in place. So you're practically ready now to fit that to your halo, the side light. That plugs directly into the original plug because it works everything as it should do. And again, if you wanted one for the indicator to work separately as well, you just run another one of these modified wires, but from the indicator green cable, and then just practically do exactly the same as this. Just make sure it's a different colour. Obviously this one could be the indicator because it's a green, and you could have used a red wire for the red to make it nice and simple. So as you can see, it's just as simple as plugging your old harness into your new wiring and your modified wire into the red wire to run your halo, or the green wire to run the halo as an indicator. And then it fits in identical to where the old lights came out. They've got these little notches here and there, which correspond to this notch here and that notch there, and then there's one at the bottom, and then your ring, which is down here, fits on exactly how you took it off, with these holes lining up with those holes. And there we are, all bolted back up. Obviously make sure that your E number is at the top, because that's the top. And then all that's left to do now is throw the plastic cover back on, and voila, just like that. Not only can you now see better, but you've also got the same mod every MX5's got. Which is why I waited so long to do it, because I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it at the same time because everybody else was doing it. But it just looks so damn good. So here we are in the dark. That's the beautiful view you get. So this is the headlights. So that's just standard headlights. As you can see, they're not exactly amazing, and that's with a wall probably a metre away from the car, and the garage is, yeah, the end of that post is probably about a metre away. So let's see what an improvement the halo's made. So we've got the halos fitted now, and I dare say they're going to be so much brighter just on side lights alone. That's literally just the halos. That's not even dipped beam on. So that's how much more you can see. And there you go, that's your dip beam. So that's how much of a difference these halos make. Definitely need better wipers. But yeah, there we go. And then you've got main beam, of course. But yeah, literally, side lights alone, you could probably drive down a country lane with. So well worth it, I'd say so. So there we are. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, comment, and leave me a like. That'd be amazing. And yeah, what a difference they made. They definitely work it. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to purchase some yourself. They also do multicoloured ones now that are mental. You can have red front lights if you really wanted to. Not really my cup of tea, but the halo lights do make such a difference to driving at night. It's going to be ridiculous, and I'll do a video of driving about in the night as well, just to show you. Upcoming videos I'm going to be having, as you can see, I've painted this wing black. It's in the curing stage at the minute, so I won't be releasing the video on the painting for a while. And we've got back on the 2.8 as well, because I managed to get some more gas and some more welding wire, so we can continue doing this. So yeah, that's it for this episode, and I shall see you in the next one.